that's my guess.
So this was a rather long pause between, the post or the end of the game and now. What was kind of the mood like in the locker room? What was the conversation like?
The mood in the locker room is, basically we got to stay together and just keep working hard. Just get better. We might have lost a couple games in a row, but I mean, if we hold our head down, it's just going to get worse. So basically, we need to stick together as a team, and when we have our next practice, we got to come ready, and we got to focus, and we got to be ready to get better for our next opponent.
So speaking of moving forward, are you not even going to look at this tape and just forget this game happened, or are you going to look at what went wrong?
I mean, since we have such a long, about a week till our next game, I'm sure that we will. We will look at some and, see what we did wrong, but what we really need to do is get ready for our next opponent and, play them to our best ability.
Sure.
Royce, did you guys have a team meeting after this one to work some things out?
Yeah, I mean, we talked in the locker room as a team and with our coach, and we talked about what we needed to do to get to where we want to get, and we just got to be ready for our next practice and stay focused and stay together as a team.
Ike, Oregon isn't a team that has typically held people down. What were they doing defensively that gave you guys trouble today?
Well, everyone knows Oregon's fast, so they did a good job of just pressuring us and just not letting us go by them and rebounding. They got a lot of offensive rebounds, so we just got to learn from it and get better.
Ken, what are your general thoughts on the game?
I think Oregon's got a lot of talent, and they'd lost a few in a row, but they'd stayed together as a team and kept plugging away at it. I think that's a good lesson for us. We've lost a few in a row too now, and we need to stay together as a group and just keep working. Hopefully, get Devontae back at some point. I think that'll help some, but we've got to be able to score some points. I mean, you just can't win games scoring 44 points or 48 or 9 or whatever it is that we're scoring. We've got to be able to make some shots and score some points. If not, you can't compete.
What did you see out there that caused you guys to have trouble scoring some points?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure right now. Hopefully, watching video will tell a little more and give me some answers. But I think we're executing some things pretty well. We're getting some pretty good shots. At the free throw line, we're wide open. They're not contesting them, and we're not shooting real well from there either. So at some point, guys got to be able to make shots.
What were you hoping to see out of Will that caused you to make a change in the starting lineup?
Will brings great tenacity and effort every day, and we felt like we were missing that maybe those first few minutes of the games, and so we wanted to instill him in the starting lineup and see how that went.
Do you,
No questions for Royce and Ike. It's not the YouTube, but thank you.
Royce, just what do you think the team can do to improve on offense over these next few games? What needs to be different?
We just need to execute and make shots. I feel our plays are good and they lead to wide open buckets. So we got to make shots and we got to execute to our full ability. And if we could do that, then we're going to score.
Do you feel like these offensive struggles have kind of led to a confidence issue, which is then in turn making it harder to make shots?
I just feel like we just need to step up and make shots. That's what it comes down to. It's not a confidence issue or anything. It's make shots. When it's your time to shoot the ball, let it fly. Make shots.
Thank you, Royce and Ike.
Coach, I remember before the season started, when you guys were picked last by the media, the Pac-12 Media Day, you mentioned how you knew that there was going to be some adversity this season. You were kind of prepared to handle that. But is the amount of adversity you faced, has that even surprised you, how tough things have been so far?
I would say the biggest surprise has been I didn't expect Devontae to get hurt, but that stuff happens. It happens to every team. But I wasn't thinking, okay, when he goes down, here's going to be the makeup of our program. And then I really thought we'd be a better shooting team. I mean, I just thought we've talked about it as a staff. Early in the year, just getting shots up during the summer and the fall. Certain guys made shots. and we have shot extremely poor. And it's hard, like I said, it's hard to win if you don't make baskets.
And you've probably tried everything, every trick of the trade to fix the shooting problems, but now that you've, probably exhausted every avenue to try and fix things, where do you go from here?
Keep trying to find the guys that we believe can shoot and get them opportunities in games to get open looks and hope they make them.
Ken, is it not getting open looks? Is it shooting form? Is it the wrong guy shooting? All of the above?
I think every once in a while it's the wrong guy shooting, within the shot clock. But for the most, guys that should be able to make shots, that might have made them in the past, and have proven that they can make shots, haven't done it as well as we expected.
Like,
And have done it at this level. Have
right,
done it against this type of competition.
like Dexter, possibly he goes through, stretches where games that he's not making threes.
Yeah, certain guys just, again, if a guy's never been able to prove it, I understand it. Maybe the level's a little too high, or the quickness, the length, the athleticism of the opponent, it's just hard to get shots off. I've seen that happen before. But we have guys that have proven they can shoot it and get their shot off at this level and shoot it in a pretty decent percentage. And unfortunately, this year, we have not done it. I don't know if they're feeling the pressure or not. I mean, a lot of those guys, one of the ways to create confidence is start guys and give them playing time and da-da-da-da-da-da.
Are we not working that inside out? Is it, teams that tend to, they know they're gonna shoot a lot of threes, they're gonna guard the perimeter more, and they're gonna not worry so much about in the paint?
That can be a part of it, because we have not been very effective or productive in the paint. And so therefore, teams are able to guard us from the perimeter pretty tight, knowing that we're not as much of a threat in the paint. Yet every game we start out, first play of the game, I think tonight, we throw it in. We try to get the ball inside, but once we're not being very effective in there, not scoring, it's like, okay, do we keep throwing it in there, or do we go to some other guys that might be able to make shots?
Jordan came in and he had 2 big blocks, and there was a lot of energy, and then he went out and didn't play a lot of minutes. Talk about that a little bit, why he, maybe why he came out, because it seemed like he was pretty enthusiastic, and there was a spark there.
Yeah. He, we don't just base it off of a few minutes in a game, we base it off what we've seen like all week, or for a few weeks, or in his case, for a few months. So even if a guy has a good 2, 3, 4 minutes, that's awesome, but we're basing it off a lot more criteria than just that. But he got back in there. We needed rebounding. By halftime, I think he had 2 fouls, him, Dex, and Q. And Jordan's probably the most foul prone. So therefore, with 2 fouls, we thought, well, let's sit him and make sure he's got 3 fouls to give the second half.
When things aren't going very well offensively, when you're not shooting the ball well, when you're struggling, a way to create that is effort on the glass and defensively being able to create some opportunities for yourself. Tonight you guys really struggled on the glass. How big of a concern is that do you feel like the effort was there and they were just a little bit better, or what's the result of that?
I thought they were much quicker and maybe more aggressive. Now, I think Oregon State, I want to say we out-rebounded Oregon State.
It was really close. I think it was within 2.
And so we've proven in certain games where we've done a good job on the glass, but tonight that hurt us. The fact that they ended up with 14 offensive boards, and I think they had 9 at halftime, that really hurt us. We had 5 defensive boards at half, and they had 9 offensive. That's just not good, good rebounding. But I'll give them credit, they're very quick. They're quick, athletic, aggressive, and those teams come up with rebounds. Those are the type of kids that get rebounds.
After a 30-point loss at home to a team that came in 1-5 in conference, do you worry that the team may just feel like the gap between themselves and these other teams is too big, and they may not be able to get back in the winning column?
I don't think so. I think we all realize, even you in here, that Oregon's pretty good. So maybe the record was 1-5, but I don't think it's indicative of how good a team they are. Just like a few years ago, Colorado wasn't real impressive, but come March, they were really, really good. I think Oregon's one of those teams that potentially could be extremely good 6 weeks from now, 7 weeks from now. They have a lot of talent. There's a reason why they got up to number 10 in the country. So they hit a slide, but I'm not as concerned with it because of who I believe they are.
Do you think Q kind of has the role on the team now where if he's not really producing offensively, then the rest of the offense struggles because of that?
It has been, because he's been one of our most productive scorers and we're not scoring really well. So naturally, if he's not scoring, then the team struggles.
What has Devontae been able to do in practice now that he's back in drills?
He hasn't been in practice yet. He hasn't had a couple individual shooting workouts for 30, 40 minutes. But that's all he's done.
So he hasn't done those passing drills. It was
Oh, he did layups one day for about 2 minutes.
okay.
Like the weave. So he passed for about 2 minutes one day. Maybe it was 3. And other than that, he got shots up that day for about 10. And the next day, I think it was about 30. And the most he's gotten was about 40 minutes of just shooting.
Do you still expect to have him back in 2 to 4 weeks?
Yeah, he'll be back at some point. I'm not sure when, but he'll be back at some point.
You were optimistic earlier about maybe, best case scenario, he would be back for the Washington game. That's probably not gonna happen, you would think?
I don't know. It's possible, but at this time, I don't know.
Okay.
We'll get another update here in the next couple of days, and during the media interviews here in a day or two, I'll be able to address that when I leave with an update.
Okay, thanks.
Even if it wasn't a concern that he would re-injure himself, or there wasn't a medical concern, do you think he'd be able to get in game shape by next weekend if the doctor said it was okay?
I think he could get in game shape in regards to playing, 18, 20, 22, 3 minutes, possibly. I think he could get in shape to do that with the amount of media timeouts, and if we were creative and call him a few timeouts ourselves to help him. But to be in shape like he was a month ago, no. He was in very, very good shape a month ago.
Last time he was injured for a while, there was some concern that he put on some weight, and that was a big emphasis this off season. Has he put on any weight? Do you know?
I don't think he has. I think he's done a great job with our nutritionist, and he's watching his diet, and he's doing whatever he can to make sure he's ready to go health-wise. So I'm not concerned with that right now.